The 1997 Grand Marshal for the Thibodaux Volunteer Firemen's Fair is James J. Buquet, Jr. Good morning, Grand Marshal.
Good morning. Better known as Jimmy.
I was going to say that. Someone we have known for a number of years. You know, when this all started, they told me that I knew the Grand Marshal very well. I just didn't realize that I knew him this well. Our Grand Marshal this year is the chairman of the board of Buquet Distributing Company, chairman of the board of First National Bank, and president of Laterre Broadcasting Corporation. And I say this with a great deal of pride, the owners of KTIB. But Jimmy, you have known for a goodly amount of time now, and I'd like to know how you kept this secret.
Well, I was asked about, I guess, 14, 15 months ago, if I would be the Grand Marshal this year. That if something would happen to last year's Grand Marshal, I would be prepared to step in. So be sure to be in town for the fair. I said, sure. So I accepted it, but I'm very delighted to be here today.
I know you have great ties to Thibodaux. Probably the firemen selected you because of your generosity over the many years to the Volunteer Fire Department.
Well, I think if someone's from a community business, I think it's something that he needs to do is to give back to the community. And I've done this throughout my business life, and hopefully that I will continue doing that.
I'd like to reach down in your heart now and have you actually tell me how this has affected you.
Going at the Firemen's Fair and serving the firemen for that fair for over 4 years, I knew the significance of being asked to be the Grand Marshal. So when I was asked, I was certainly delighted, and it's quite an honor to be here today. And to tell you exactly how I feel, it's difficult because there's so many emotions that come into play here. But I am delighted, and I just hope that I can live up to the tradition that the other Grand Marshals have set for this day.
You join a list, a very impressive list. Now I want to get down and really get personal. How did you keep this a secret this long, Jimmy?
Well, I told my wife, and I said, honey, if you breathe anything to this, then it's going to cause some serious problems. But really, I have to admit that on a couple of occasions, I nearly slipped and caught it before, and no one ever knew it. And I'm sort of known to be a little tight-lipped, so I could keep a secret.
So, Glennie Lee, move over here. When did he tell you he was the Grand Marshal?
Oh, he told me the evening that he was asked. So I've known a long time, too, but he wouldn't allow me to tell the children even until a month ago. So it has been a very tight secret, and I don't know if he would have told him then, but people had to make airline reservations and so forth and get here. So it really has been real fun to do it this way.
Jimmy, you are not known for seeking the limelight at all. Now, you're going to be out there today on this horse, riding through the streets of Thibodaux. This is not the image of Jimmy Buquet. So how are you going to feel about this?
Oh, I'm feel very excited and delighted to do it.
How's the horse?
Well, I did go try the horse out about a week ago, and it's I think a beautiful horse. I think the firemen would be proud of the horse we selected. It's happened to be owned by a local person from the Thibodaux area, so I was able to go out and I rode it 15, 20 minutes. And being the outdoorsman that I am, it wasn't difficult for me to adjust a horse.
Outdoors, that means the patio. You haven't ridden a horse in a while, I understand. Was it frightening?
It's been 2 weeks ago now, a week ago. Before that?
Prior to that, yeah.
Prior to that, it was probably 25 years. Yeah.
Was there any fear, or does the excitement really alleviate any fear?
There wasn't any fear of the horse, no. Like I said, I grew up on a farm, so I was around animals a lot, and around horses and mules that are mean. So, and I had ridden a horse, but I hadn't ridden one for 25 years. So, no, it didn't perturb me to get on a horse and try him out. And I thought it was important that the horse at least would have the opportunity to meet me as well. That's me meeting the horse.
This is not going to be the Kentucky Derby. That was yesterday.
No, we probably want to compete for speed here.
Just for endurance. Well, we're going to see you on that horse when you come down Menard Street to Canal Boulevard. We'll be right there on the median, and we'll stop you, and you can tell us then, after you've been a few blocks, what it's like to ride this horse.
They keep telling me that I'll be sore tomorrow, but we'll worry about that tomorrow.
I'll cry tomorrow. You and Glennie Lee have 3 children. JJ is the only boy. You have 2 girls. And, I'm sorry, J.J. Buquet the third. Andre Buquet Casey is your oldest daughter. And Michelle Buquet Golding is the youngest. You have 5 grandchildren. Now, how did they react to this honor to their dad and their papa?
Well, they didn't find out till about 2 days ago. And we told the oldest one, Carlton told his son, C.J., that he'd be in a parade. Because he sensed there was a little something going on and that Mitch was coming in from Denver and, we were doing some things. And so he sensed that something was going on and he asked his dad, he said, what's all this going on? So Friday afternoon after school, he told him, and he was some excited, of course. Fire engines is his big thing. He likes fire engines. So he is excited about riding in the parade, number one. And the first thing he asked his dad, he said, what are we going to throw? We don't throw in this parade. So he was a little disappointed with that, but he adjusted well. He's a lot of Buquet in him, so he adjusted well.
Oh, good. Now, you've never been, I understand, King of Carnival or anything like that. As we said earlier, you do not seek the limelight. So this must have been a very special honor to you. I would like for you at this time to reach down in your heart and tell people what you would like them to do today once they follow you to the fairgrounds and the auction gets started and the real work begins.
Well, number one, you mentioned the King of Carnival. I have been asked to be King of Carnival on several occasions of all 3 of the clubs that I belong to. And I chose not to be the king because I preferred having queens, and I had 2 queens. Andre was queen, and then Michelle was queen. So that was not something that I really wanted to do necessarily. It would have been an honor. But to have been asked to be the Grand Marshal of this is an extreme honor for me. To have been associated with a lot of people from Thibodaux over the years. Half of the people that work for me live in Thibodaux. And they're excellent people, not only good workers, they're good corporate citizens. So I look forward to doing this. I think it's, like I said, just a great honor to have been asked. Never in my wildest dreams that I ever thought that I would be a marshal of the Thibodaux Fireman Parade. It's just something that I understood that's not going to happen. Not going to be asked, not going to be a marshal, and I accepted that. That's the way it maybe should have been. But when I was asked, I have to tell you that I was touched. I felt why ask me, of all people, that they could ask? So I was very delighted and very surprised and accepted graciously. So what I expect people to do today is, the second phase of your question is, well, I hope they all have a great time at the parade, and then that they all come to the fair and enjoy the short reception we're going to have at the fair for all the people that were invited. And then that they go to the fairgrounds and participate in the fair. We have, I was out there, and they have a lot of, like typical, it's just a good typical fireman fair. I think this year they've even added on a few things. I was there Friday night, and they had a couple of bands. They had, I don't know, the one I remember is Benoit, because he's from Houma, Tad Benoit. But then I want people to come by the auction, of course. And we're looking forward to, hopefully, raise a lot of money for the firemen. That's the whole purpose of this thing. And I just hope that maybe I could set a new record. That's every Grand Marshal's goal, and I understand they've set a new record 3 years in a row. And I hope that I'm able to say, well, this year we got a 1 penny, as I saw the motto for the firemen, 1 penny over what we did last year. But last year was a great year, and it's going to be tough to do.
You are a very gracious Grand Marshal, and we look forward to seeing you as you ride down Menard Street and then on to the Firemen's Fairgrounds. Congratulations, Jimmy Buquet.
Fine. Thank you so much, Marie.
And there you have it, the 1997 Grand Marshal. I told you he was gracious. James J. Jimmy Buquet. Yes, he is president of Laterra Broadcasting Corporation, and I'm proud to say that includes KTIB. He is the chairman of the board of Buquet Distributing Company, the distributors for Anheuser-Busch in this whole area. He is a Houma native and is well known throughout the area as a philanthropist and just a wonderful all-around guy. And let me walk over here. And so when you found out who the Grand Marshal was, total stranger, how did you feel?
Well, I was quite surprised to find out that it was my good friend Jimmy Buquet. And he, I must say, kept his counsel. He would not admit it. Even after I knew it was him, he still would not admit it. So anyway, was delighted to know it was he. And he was just at a little pre-parade party. And Jimmy is really looking good. I can't wait to see him on the horse.
He is a most gracious Grand Marshal, but he said it wasn't hard for him to keep it secret because he's not known for being...
He doesn't talk much.
He doesn't talk a lot. That perfect stranger is Raymond Saadi, Executive Vice President and General Manager of KTIB.
I did one of these, Marie. We started back about in 1955, I'd say, did our first broadcast of a parade, Firemen's Parade. Remember that? That's 40, never mind, long time ago.
Most of these people don't even know what 40-something years is. The E.D. White Band, no, they weren't. To the Grand Marshal, and he is fabulous. The horse is fabulous. That horse is jerking, Jimmy. Mr. Grand Marshal, how does it feel now?
Well, it feels just great. It's a beautiful day, and we're going to have a great ride, and I'm very excited. It's just super. Just fantastic. Thank you.
And you are super. We're not going to keep you any longer. We'll get out of the way. The 1997 Grand Marshal, Jimmy Buquet. James J. Jimmy Buquet. But we want to talk to a past Grand Marshal who knows a lot about this fire department, and that was a few years ago that you were Grand Marshal.
Well, I'm not ashamed to say that I go back, I was a Grand Marshal in 1953, so that's a long time ago. This is a beautiful day, and Jimmy Buquet made a fine Grand Marshal, and we certainly are thankful that a large crowd has come out to view the parade and will come to the fair. And let's everybody join together and say, let's have a big day today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. F.H.